on YouTube or going to watch us later, thank you for joining us. This is the RCIIS Conversation Club. This is a free English practice opportunity that happens every 2 weeks on Wednesdays, and we switch from Wednesday mornings to Wednesday evenings to try to accommodate people in different time zones and schedules. So this one is our special morning meeting. So because of that, we have some lovely people from Turkey here, which is a very different time zone, which is great. Oh, great. And some more people are joining us here. So my name is Leslie. I'm an English speaking teacher at the International English School, RCIIS, in Toronto, Canada. And Max is here, who is also a English speaking teacher at RCIIS. And then we have a mixture of people from different cultures, some who have studied at RCIIS in the past, some who are totally new here today. So it's great. So today we're going to talk about learning languages and studying English. So we'll have fun complaining about what's confusing or stupid or difficult about the English language, what we enjoy. We can exchange helpful tips like, oh, this app is really helpful for studying vocabulary or whatever, or I love this Netflix series in English. So yeah, that's our plan. So I'd like us to go around and just very quickly share your name, your country, where you're from and where you're living, and something about your experience learning English. So for example, you could say, I wish I had learned more speaking and listening skills. I only learned grammar and vocabulary in school. Or you could say, I just started learning English this year because of the pandemic, or anything you want to share about your experience with English. And let's greet, we have a new person here. Is it nicknamed Danny?
Hi, good morning, teacher.
Hi, is this what's your name?
My name is Daniela.
Daniela?
Daniela.
Okay.
I'm from Mexico.
Okay, yeah.
I'm 24 years old, and I was bueno. I study in English, intermediate one.
Awesome. And you're studying, are you studying English in Mexico right now, these days?
Yes. Only every Saturday.
Okay, great. Awesome. Okay. Uh, great. So you're studying on Saturdays and you do it online?
Yes, yes, online. From 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay. Nice. Oh, that's a full day. That's a full day of English. Okay, great. How about Max, you can tell us a bit about you as another teacher here.
Sure, yeah. My name is Max. I'm from Canada. I'm from Northern Ontario, but I've lived in Toronto for a long time now. English is my native language, my first language. So obviously, I learned it when I was a baby. And I learned it the way you all learned Turkish, Portuguese, Japanese, etc. But I do have some experience learning languages because I went to a French immersion elementary school. My hometown is like half people speak French, half people speak English kind of situation. So I learned French when I was younger. I have a pretty bad speaking skill in French now because I haven't practiced in over 12 years. But I did learn French when I was a child for a long time. And also, when I was in my early 20s, I took a class in Toronto to learn Japanese in advance of a vacation I was taking to Japan. Again, no, because I didn't practice for a long time. My Japanese skill is fairly low. But I have some experience of learning languages, and I understand how difficult it can be.
Awesome. That's very helpful. Maybe you can say a little something to us in Japanese or French later.
Nihongo wa muzukashii desu.
How was he, Atsuko?
Let's exchange English and Japanese with me.
All right, let's have Atsuko, since you're unmuted, let's have you introduce yourself
Okay.
now.
Hello guys, my name is Atsuko. Obviously I'm Japanese, but I'm living in Toronto for maybe 2.5 years. I graduated RCIIS twice. And I think I started to study English when I was kids because I wanted to sing a song in English and I was longing to speak English fluently. And yeah, so when I was kids, I watched movie which is called Chorus Line. It was New York style musical movie, I think. And I pretended to sing in English, even I can't understand the meaning or correct pronunciation. Like it's one sing reputation if it succeeds like this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's a really good tip to study English, like pretend to sing or speak. Is it called shadowing?
That sounds right, but I've never actually heard that expression. Max, have you heard of shadowing?
Shadowing.
Again, that's for me too. That sounds familiar, but I can't confirm
really?
that. I will say though, I've done the same thing with like Korean pop music or Latin dance music. I don't actually know the words, but I go like.
That was a hilarious representation. I love that.
Yeah.
I saw the word shadowing in some English skill improving something.
Yeah.
So I think it really works to speak or sing English.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. And what a great, what a beautiful personal story. I love that. Okay, let's hear from Aaron next. Oh, just press unmute, Aaron, because I have you all on mute.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So hello everyone again. So I'm Aaron from Turkey. I'm only 21 years old. I'm still a student and I'm studying aviation management. I've been learning English and a year and a half, half in a year. So I just took an English preparation class last year. And then before that, I wasn't good in English, just only, hey, how are you? Just basic things, like basic conversation. And then I just met some friends from the other country, which is like America or Canada. And then just try to talk with them face to face, like through the FaceTime or some application. Then I just faced my speaking just improving by day by, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I didn't focus my listening and reading skills. So I'm a little bit like, I feel that I'm lack of reading and listening skills. So I only focus my speaking skills. And then, I think, that was my experience of learning English.
Very cool. Well, that's great. I think meeting friends who can practice speaking English with you is like awesome because it's so enjoyable and they can help you. And your speaking sounds great. So you could practice your listening with us today. So this is good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's hear from Zack next.
Oh, hi everyone again. I am Zack. I'm from Brazil, and actually Zack it's a nickname because my real name is Itzhak. Maybe the Aaron and Samuel it's I don't know if this name it's common in Turkey because it's a Jewish name. Yeah, and I'm learning English since I was a kid, but only reading and listening. And then when I finished my college here in Brazil, I decided to start saving money to get an experience abroad. And then I stay in Canada, in Toronto for 6 months, the last winter.
Amazing. Okay, great. Lovely. You all sound so great. And how about Samuel next? Oh, still muted. There you go.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Again, I'm from Turkey, as you know. I have been studying English since I started college about maybe 20 years, almost 20 years. But I have made a mistake. I was trying to learn English. I was so centered on the grammar. I was trying to learn English in a formal way. It was a big mistake. Now I realize that it was really a big mistake. We should learn English more natural ways. This is the most important part of learning a new language. The problem is the first problem. We have to convince ourselves that we need to learn English. There is a difference when convincing ourselves. There is a difference learning English and learning a new language. There is a difference because learning English is different from learning a new language because the English is almost dominant worldwide. At least for now, we are talking about 10 years. So we have to learn English to have more information, to share more knowledge, to exchange more knowledge between ourselves in worldwide. So this is very critical to learn English. We have to, this is the first, and learning a new language, as science and researchers suggested, learning a new language is very fruitful and very useful for brain functioning, So first of all, we have to learn English in a natural way, try to learn English in a natural way. And then maybe if we are satisfied with our English, we can learn more language because we can do it. Yes, we can do it. It is possible for everybody. And the other point, I realized that when learning a new language, as Atsuko, Mrs. Atsuko mentioned, we have to eliminate thinking our native language. Let me give an example. I was in United States, I think 5 years ago. I stayed there about 1 month. I was satisfied with my English in United States. I am not still satisfied by English, but when I was in the United States, I realized that after 2 weeks, I eliminate thinking in Turkish. I was only thinking and speaking in English. This is another point when learning English. So I should kindly recommend the new people, the younger boys and girls, that to go to visit as much country as possible for them. Of course, United States or Canada or Britain. So go abroad. If you want to learn English, stay at least 6 months or 1 year or 2 years or whatever. But you should, if you want to be satisfied with your English, you should visit United States or Canada or another English-speaking country.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. That's why RCIIS exists, because so many students do want to study English or other languages abroad, so they can immerse themselves in the culture and the language. Yeah, and RCIS is gearing up. We're preparing for when we can accept international students again. So we're excited. Great. Let's hear from. Oh yes, Zack. Yeah.
I experienced that because I have been in Canada for 6 months, and then after 1.5 months or 2 months, I started thinking only in English, and that's amazing.
That is amazing, because that's not very long to start thinking in a second or third language. Wow.
Yeah, but I just started learning English after a few years, and then I started to watch some movies and try new conversation clubs here in my city, and then I was like kind of prepared to go there. And
Nice.
I was not replying the phone call from Turkey, you know, when I was in United States. When I started to feel that I think only English, I stopped talking with my
you blocked
Turkish
your Turkish friends and family. Do not contact me.
Only 1 month, of course, only 1 month, for 1 month.
Well, that's a goal. That's a goal. Okay, and let's just hear from Haiji, and then we'll get more into our conversation.
Okay, I'm Haiji. I'm from Brazil. My hometown is Tupã, São Paulo, but I've been living in Bahia for 15 years since I got married. I'm a teacher, and I'm always studying to try to improve my English. For example, when we are talking here, I can understand everything. I think I can communicate in a very good way. I think, and I hope so. But I have to practice my listening when I watch, especially movies. Depends on the movie. I have some difficulties, and I'm trying to make it better. I won't give up, of course. And as a goal for this year, I wanted to watch at least one movie in English per week to practice it. And my husband always also speaks a little English, so we try to speak English. And my 2 children are studying English too. They've studied English since they are 3 years old. And at home, we try to speak at least the vocabulary, take this, take that, to improve English for all of us. I really love English. This is why I've been working with English too. I'm an English teacher in elementary school, but I'm a kind of teacher who knows that we don't know everything. So all the time we have to study, we have to be in touch. We have, this is why I'm here today, to meet new people, to listen different English, because they are good for my ears. And for example, I have books. So I study. I have my time to study English every week too.
Awesome. I suspected that you were an English teacher. When you said a teacher, I was like, she's maybe an English teacher. That's beautiful. And absolutely, I agree. And I think Max would agree that even native English speakers are always learning more vocabulary, correcting our grammar and pronunciation. So everyone can constantly be improving in whatever language, right? Like Atsuko taught me this term shadowing that I haven't read about before. So yeah, it's wonderful to know that there's always more to learn, but you're still, as Samuel said, satisfied with yourself. You're not feeling too embarrassed to try to communicate with people, because that's how you learn, right? So great. Let's start. I love that. Can I check my pronunciation again with you? Is it Heiji? Heiji?
Haiji.
Haiji. Haiji. Okay, I gotta write that down phonetically for me to remember. Haiji. So I love that Haiji was already talking about her kind of plan. You know, she tries to watch. She wants to watch one English movie per week, and she has her interchange English studying book. So let's start just freely talking about how do we improve our English skills? What are some of your strategies or tips that you can offer each other? Samuel says, go abroad. Don't talk to people in your own language, your first language. Haiji says, watch movies to practice the listening. What are some other techniques you guys have found helpful?
Yeah, so I would say you can talk to the mirror, just talk to yourself. You don't need to be shy. And then you will see how you're going to improve yourself.
Okay, so that's how you improve your speaking and not listening, right, Aaron?
I haven't tried that. But it really helps. You will see.
Nice. Okay, any other ideas?
I'm always doing online quiz. My friend usually says that I'm the craziest person who loves online quiz, English quiz. So I'm always doing something. I like that to improve the vocabulary. And some, of course, there are some words and especially slangs and expressions that I have to guess, to find out. Then I look up in a dictionary or on the internet. But this is one more tip that I use to improve my vocabulary, doing online quiz. And there are many free online quizzes on the internet.
So you just, Haiji, you just Google search English quiz.
Yeah.
And then just do them.
Yeah. And as according to we use the internet, then I always receive something. As we know, I think I don't know if you watched I don't know the name in English, the movie. Something that everything we look for, everything we chat, everything we try to find on internet, then they send us something. We are connected, people are watching us all the time. So I do that, and I always receive something free.
Yeah, I'm still receiving some news from Toronto and Ontario in my Android smartphone.
Oh, yeah.
Zack, the Dilemma das Redes in English, do you know the name of that movie?
I can't remember.
I don't remember the name in English. It shows exactly what I'm saying. What?
A social
I think
dilemma?
a social dilemma. Yeah,
social dilemma.
Something like that. When you watch that movie, you really know that people are watching us all the time. And this is why I receive free online quizzes all the time.
Yeah, there you go.
So for you, loss of privacy is okay because English quizzes are coming in. Amazing. Okay, let's hear from maybe Daniela. Do you have any English tips for us? How do you practice your English?
My tips are listen to music, read books, and practice speak with other people.
Yeah. So do you have particular friends or family members that you know they are okay to switch and practice in English with you?
Yes, I have one cousin. He's how do you say polyglota? Polyglota?
We don't have any other Spanish speakers here. So unfortunately, we can't translate it.
People take a guess.
It's like a same word in Portuguese. It's like a person that speak a lot of language.
Polyglot.
Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Well, my cousin is Mexican too, but he's living now in Canada. He's my help for practice more speak the English.
Nice. And also in my follow-up email to thank you guys for participating later today or tomorrow, you guys will have each other's emails. So you guys could start a international club of your own on Zoom. So that's great. How about any ideas from Atsuko?
Yes, I think there are two basic style to improve English, input and output. And obviously input is remember the new word or another collocation or something. But not only input, but also everyone needs to output, obviously speaking English with another person. And before COVID-19, I tried to find a phrase where using English. For example, go to a store and find some stuff, and I ask something to them. And do you have another car? Or can I try this one? Or and continue to speaking with them. Yeah, it was fun time for me.
I often had students at RCIIS who were studying abroad, and they would tell me these funny real life practice strategies where they'd pretend to be interested in joining a gym just to talk to the person at the gym. Or like other things like a common kind of situational functional English. Yeah, with salespeople.
Really, I realized it's really hard to make a new friends in here. They already have a lot of friends, I think. So actually, that's a really less opportunity to speaking English. So intentionally to try to find the station.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That it's probably it's easier to find people who are also practicing English,
right?
At groups with like online meetup and language exchanges. But sometimes you want to meet people from the country to practice with as well. Yeah. Yeah. Any other ideas for interesting ways of learning English? Yeah, Samuel?
Excuse me. Writing. I am not sure if it is personal. When I write in English, I feel quite satisfied in English because it is like making new thing, architect. When I write in English, it is very fruitful for me. Writing is very important. I'm not sure if it is personal. Let me ask you or Max, because you are expert. What do you think about writing in English?
What do you think, Max?
Writing is important to learn how to do. People underestimate how much we actually need to write things in English. I will say writing can be a little bit better than speaking in some ways, because at least you have a chance to be critical of yourself and edit yourself as you're doing it. Unlike speaking, where you just say the words and then they come out of your mouth and people hear it. So I think writing can give you more opportunity to think critically about what can I fix about this sentence, what can I change about the way I phrased this, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I guess writing also, because writing is unless you're text messaging someone, it's more formal than speaking. And so, Samuel, you were saying when you were in the US for a month, you felt very satisfied, right? You can communicate with people, and you can communicate with people speaking with very little. You can kind of just say some English words and people will get your meaning. But writing does require more of a knowledge of grammar and spelling as well. So it is practicing other skills that are are definitely also useful, especially in if you want to work in English. You need to be able to, or if you want to study in a formal kind of university or college setting as well, writing is very important. But Samuel, it sounded like you were enjoying the pleasure of creating as well. You said, I'm like an architect. So yeah, if writing is pleasurable, like singing, listening to music is pleasurable for Atsuko and Daniela, wherever the joy is, follow the joy, because that will continually motivate you to keep going, because learning a language is boring and difficult. So finding the joy is very important. I think Zack was going to say something earlier.
Oh yeah, it's a good tip. Also, change the language of your smartphone or your computer, also your social media. Start following people that speaks or write in English on this social media and Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Yeah, it wasn't another idea in my mind, but I
No,
can't
that's
remember.
really, I forget about that. My students are always, when they're going to do an English presentation, they're researching in their language on Google. Yeah, that's like another way to immerse yourself. So even if you're not living in the US or the UK or Canada, you can kind of surround yourself technologically in the
Yeah, that's
language.
right.
That's
And
really cool.
about the writing speaks,
Mhm.
another way that I use to practice my English is to write like some emails or something, even in my smartphone. And then when I try to write, if it's in incorrect way, a red line appears like in the bottom of the word, and so I can correct myself, like the technology correct myself.
It's like magic. It catches mistakes that you would never realize, even for me, right? Even in your own language. Sometimes you're like, how do I spell that word? Very helpful technology.
Yeah, but particularly in English, it's like difficult for me. The th, the hdh, and like double n, double g's.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that will be the next question. We'll talk about the things we think are stupid about English. But first, let's hear from Max. Max, do you have any tips that you usually give to students? I know it's a very general thing, like learning English, because normally students ask about pronunciation or grammar specifically. But have you learned some new resources? Heard about some sorry, morning throat
Yeah.
applications or things online or anything?
Yeah, there's a few things. This isn't the most exciting one, but just thinking about what Zack was saying, and I use this myself for drafting more formal English writing. There's a browser add-on called Grammarly, which gives you grammar suggestions to sound more formal or less repetitive or something like that. So if you want to improve your grammar and writing skills, this Grammarly is very helpful, at least for me, because even though I've been speaking English my whole life, maybe there's a better way to phrase something that I just wasn't thinking about when I type something. So this application, I'll put the name of it in the chat, Grammarly. I also recommend to my students, if you want to practice your listening, better than watching movies or TV series. Those are good too, but you can rely sort of on what's happening on the screen to see what's happening to give you understanding. So better than that is, excuse me, morning throat. Better than that is maybe listening to a podcast or something. Or like a TED talk or something like that, where you only rely on listening and not on visual cues to help you understand. I'm sure you all know what a podcast is, but I'll put it in there anyway.
I just wrote I just wrote TED Talks in the chat as well, because TED talks are really interesting, but also there's a special category called TED Ed, which for if students are lower level English, it's supposed to teach you about topics. It's good for kind of youth, younger people, and the images that they show on YouTube are helpful. So yeah, for more advanced listening practice, you don't want the images so much. But if you're just kind of starting to learn vocabulary, then the images will be helpful.
I also recall, I tried to look quickly to see if I could find it. Maybe this is the wrong name, but it's something like this: Elsa Speak, which is an app you can get on your phone, and it listens to your pronunciation of English, and it like quizzes you on how to make different sounds, like the th sound or the r, l, like difficult sounds. It sort of, I think it shows you where to put your tongue and how to shape your mouth. And it's like a quiz for your pronunciation.
Great. So what is that sound? Okay, did you guys hear that? It sounded like I had like a demon living inside me. Oh, this morning.
Yeah.
Great. So for anyone who is listening on YouTube and can't see our private chat, Max recommended Grammarly, TED Talks, podcasts in general, Elsa Speak. Elsa, like the name from Frozen. Elsa Speak. And then I see Aaron wrote a name. Is this an app, Aaron?
Yeah, it is an app. It will help you about your listening and reading.
Okay, and it's VO screen.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. They are just a little bit part of some film that they put in the application, and then, for example, they just some 2 or 3 sentences, and then you will see the options, so you can choose the correct one. So yeah, it really helps.
Okay, nice. Great. Okay, so let's get into the fun stuff of funny or embarrassing stories about misunderstandings in language or English. Maybe you tried to pronounce a word and your English teacher thought you said a different word. Maybe you were trying to ask a question in English in another country and there was some confusion. Or comments about what is frustrating or annoying or stupid about English. Like Zack was talking about the GH, TH kind of combinations that are annoying. So just kind of funny anecdotes or stories about English learning.
Yeah, I have a good one.
Yeah.
It's about Tim Hortons. It's like a common place in Canada, especially Toronto. It's just like a Starbucks that you go there to buy a coffee and maybe something to eat. And you can ask them for a coffee and telling just like the size of the coffee, like small, medium, or large. And the, what can I say? If you want sugar or milk, for example, if you want double sugar and double milk, you ask a coffee double, and you tell them the size. So I want, I'd like a small double. But then the first month that I went there, I asked like a medium double. Like, and then the waiter just looked myself and, what are you saying?
Wait, you said the wrong word twice. Medium, double.
Yeah, medium, double.
I think it's great. And I would still understand medium,
I would know
medium, double.
Medium.
but it's adorable. It's an adorable mistake that we love. Great
Yeah.
story, Zach. Does anyone else have a story like that? Samuel's got something.
Yes, pronunciation between duck and duck.
I don't even know what you're.
Yes.
Duck,
Duck,
quack, quack,
like-
and dark.
If when I was in the United States, the Newport, I met a friend from China, and we were talking, and I asked some things about their culture, meal, something, and he told me that he likes to eat duck. I was surprised at eating a duck, in Chinese, and he told me duck, not duck. D. I understood D-O-G, but the real thing is D-U-C-K. So I was surprised, and then I understood that it was D-O-C-K. That's all.
D-U, yeah, D-U-C-K.
Sorry, D-U-C-K.
Quack, quack, not rough, rough. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. I mean, sometimes people from different cultures do eat unexpected things, but not in this case. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it wasn't
sorry, but I think I always respect the Chinese culture, but I think I should not be surprised, because in China, they can eat. I should not
lots
be
of things.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Many countries
Yes.
eat different animals than your own country. I mean, in Canada, I've had like some exotic types of food as well. So it's always surprising what people eat.
In my hometown, moose is really common.
I've never had moose, but I've had a bison burger.
That's similar.
But yeah, okay, we could talk about food,
Yeah,
but let's
that's
get back
another
to
topic.
Great. Any other funny stories? English reaction stories?
It was not funny, but very embarrassing moment for me. Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago almost, and I tried to make an appointment with my nail stylist, and I go to store and I try to ask them, but at the moment they can't understand my English, and their staff, women staff, and her customer couldn't understand my English, and they look each other, what she said like this, and I tried to say again and again, I wanna make an appointment and for my nail, and then when it's good time for you or something like this, and it was really, really embarrassed me, and my face turned to red, and my turn is, how do you say, not work well. Yeah, but she is Vietnamese and my friends now.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
That's a happy ending.
Yes, happy ending. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah. And in many places, like Toronto is a very multicultural city, but like many other cities receive many international tourists. Like people should expect and be patient and forgiving of different accents and different levels of a language. So I always say to my students, if someone reacts to you negatively, it's their problem. They're the weird person, not you, right? You should be able to attempt to speak in any language and be received as a human politely, I think. So, and meet friends, meet
Yes.
Vietnamese friends. Yeah.
Yes, it's nice.
Does anyone else have a story?
Oh, I think I have one more.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really hard for me. Listen what they say to you when you are paying for something in a grocery store, like in Canada, no Frios or Freshco, because they ask you, "Do you want a bag today?" But in a really fast way, like "Want a bag today?" And even knowing that they are saying, "Do you want a bag today?" It was hard to me to listen another time and really understand that. Like, "Do you want a bag today?" means, "Do you want a bag today?"
Yeah. Yeah.
One of my favorite expressions is "know what I'm saying." Do you know
I
what
never
I
say
am
that.
saying?
Know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that's a good one. Let's talk about favorite English words or favorite English expressions that we've learned.
My example is serendipitous.
You just love the sound?
Yeah, I don't know. Something about it just sounds so pleasant. I also use ubiquitous a lot. I don't know. I like long formal words.
And words with like lots of consonants that are kind of popping out of your mouth. Ubiquitous.
Yeah.
What is it again? Serendipitous. You like that kind of middle strong stress that pops.
Ostensibly.
Oh yeah, yeah. I see what you like. Yeah. I like I've always loved the word baby. I just think it's such a cute sounding word. Like it works for the image of like a baby. I don't know.
Baby.
Yeah, it's such a sweet sounding word, baby. Oh, I love your little baby. Yeah, I like that. How about you guys?
I like the words biology, psychology.
Yeah.
You like words that end in ology?
Yeah, I like that. I think they sound nice. Biology, psychology, and I don't know if they're correct, but the expressions apple polisher and piece of cake. I use them a lot with my students when they are trying to persuade me, and I say, no, don't be an apple polisher, please. Or when I think something's very easy. But to be honest, I know that's very difficult for them, but I say, no, it's a piece of cake. So they know when I say something's a piece of cake, that means really hard, not easy.
Me too.
I like to joke with those expressions.
Oh, yes. So you sarcastically say something is a piece of cake. Yeah. I love it. And good pronunciation of psychology. I often in my intermediate speaking class, when we're using that word, they're looking at the spelling and they're thinking chology, psychology, because that's what the spelling looks like, right?
Like vegetables, vegetables. No, we usually we say the way we read. That's the problem.
Of course, with Spanish and Portuguese, yeah, you're relying on the spelling.
They usually say vegetables, not vegetables.
Yeah, yeah. Great. How about someone we haven't heard from recently? How about Daniela? What do you find confusing in English?
Can you repeat me, please?
Yeah. What's types of words or grammar or pronunciation? What do you find difficult or confusing or frustrating?
For me, one difficult is the pronunciation about of the verbs when your end is with ed.
Yes. Yeah, because if you're coming from a Latin language, you want to say the ed, right?
Yes.
So students will say, I worked
Worked.
yesterday, but in English we say worked.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't always pronounce the ed as like a id separate syllable. Yeah, that is confusing.
Yes. What times do you recommend me for practice more this part?
I can send you a link to a document. It will show you when you pronounce the ed and when as like a id sound and when you pronounce it with a t sound or a d sound. It's not super helpful because you have to think about the sound that happens at the end of the word before the ed, but it gives you a logic to it. But mostly I think you just learn from hearing the word enough that you're like, oh, we say worked. Oh, we say acted. I think it's mostly listening that will help you with that. Is that what you'd say, Max?
I agree. If you want to know the sort of general rule, and this isn't true about everything, if a verb ends in its base form with the sound t or d, then you add the extra sound at the end, wanted, acted, decided. But other verbs either end with t and no extra consonant, extra syllable, sorry. Depending on what it is, we either say worked or what's a
Yeah, I know it's always hard to remember the one that ends in just a d sound.
R sound.
What did you say? Did you give us one?
Scared.
Scared.
Scared is usually an adjective though.
Yeah. Yeah, scarred.
Scarred. There you go.
My ex-boyfriend scarred me.
There you go. Good example.
Oh, Atsuko finds that funny. My sadness is funny. No, I'm not scarred. I'm okay. I'm fine. Great. How about we haven't heard from Aaron for a while. Aaron, what do you find annoying about English?
Yeah. For me, there are some 3 or 4 words in English which is through, though, and thou. Like these are just makes me like confusing sometimes. You know what I mean? Like almost the same spelling, but like just different.
Yes, that's a famous example. Like through, thought, although, tough.
Yeah.
Crazy OUGH. Get out of here. Any other confusing bits of English? What someone wants to share?
What about Manhattan? Manhattan. I always hear this word, Manhattan. Like the spelling.
Yes.
The writing is maybe the TAN at the end. Tan.
Yes.
But people don't say Manhattan like this. So
yes.
Yeah, it really sounds weird and hard to pronunciation.
Yeah.
Of course.
I believe like Toronto and Canada, it's originally an indigenous word, so it's maybe pronunciation doesn't follow English pronunciation, but I might be wrong about that.
Well, I think there's two so Manhattan has that as you say, it's like the throat. So that's similar to the word button.
Button,
right? We don't say button. Button.
That sounds like English.
But then the middle T in Toronto, I think we eliminate that, Max, because North Americans don't pronounce the middle T's very strongly like the British do, right?
That's true.
the British would say little or water, but we'd say little. Water. Toronto.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
So I think there's two things going on there, but good. Yeah.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt you, but I have to go because I have a meeting now.
Yes, and
I'd like to thank you for the opportunity, and you, Leslie, Max, RCIIS, and all the other people here, because that was a good conversation today.
Oh, thank you so much, Zach. Thanks for joining us. I think Max has to leave because he has something at 9 too. Are you okay, Max?
I just have to prepare for something at 10, so I have.
Okay. Okay, but see you, Zach. Thanks so much for joining us.
Bye, Zach.
See you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Does anyone else need to leave this minute? No, everyone else is okay. We only have about a minute left of our chat, but does anyone want to share something that they didn't get to? Yes, Samuel?
Leslie, can I ask a question about confusion? I wonder that, for example, the pronunciation. Do you understand, for example, if I say water, do you understand that I mean water in English? Yes. I want to learn that. Thank you.
Yes. I always say to my students, actually, because sometimes they'll go to Tim Hortons and ask for water, but because of their accent, it's hard for the Canadian Tim Hortons worker to understand when they don't say the middle T, like they're trying to sound like native English Canadian style, but it sounds like, oh. So I say to my students, it's okay to pronounce the middle T. It's very clear and nice. It just is more British style, but that's fine. You can say water, little, Toronto. It doesn't sound like you're not wrong. It's not wrong. It's just a different accent, a British kind of pronunciation.
For us, it's very difficult the sound th without, because we don't have this sound in Portuguese. Yep. So it's difficult, and we don't know if you use f in the place in spite of th. We don't know if you use t, depends of the words, because the sound is very difficult for us when we are talking using the tongue. Yeah. Because we don't have the sound.
Yeah. TH definitely want to make it sound different from the F sound, because I do have Brazilian students who will say, I went with my friends, but we don't want the F sound. We want with. So F sound, teeth on the lower lip, but TH sound, the tongue has to be between the teeth. So different sound. So yeah, there's a funny meme I've seen with a cat with its tongue out, and it says, when your English teacher explains the TH sound, because English teachers are like, do like this, you know, it feels wrong and stupid, but that's how you produce the sound. Yeah. But anyway, it's 9 o'clock. So, well, 9 o'clock Toronto time, 5 p.m. for Aaron and Samuel, right? But thank you guys so much for joining us. This was a very fun conversation. I wish we could go longer, but we have to go on to our busy, impressive lives now. And thank you to anyone who tuned in on YouTube. If you are interested in joining this free English club, you can just email RCIIS at contact@rciis.ca, or you can reach out by social media, Instagram, Facebook, and let us know. We love meeting new people from around the world and getting to know new people. So yeah, I think that's it. So let's say bye to YouTube. Have a great Wednesday. Woohoo.